I now hand the conference over to Mr. Dipesh Kashyap from Equirus Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Hi, thank you. On behalf of Equirus Securities, we welcome you all to 1Q FY21 results conference call of LT Foods Limited. We have with us today Mr. Ashwani Kumar Arora, the Managing Director and CEO, Mr. Vivek Chandra, CEO of Consumer Business, Ms. Monica, VP Finance and Strategy, and Mr. Sachin Gupta, the Group Finance Controller. Now I hand over the call to the management for their initial remarks, and post which we will open the floor for Q&A session. Over to you, Ms. Monica. Thank you.
Thank you, Dipesh. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on our earnings conference call. I hope that you and your loved ones are all well and safe. I would like to highlight that certain statements made or discussed on the conference call today will be forward-looking statements, and a disclaimer to this effect has been included in the results presentation shared with you earlier. Result documents are available on company's website and have also been uploaded on the stock exchanges. A transcript of this call would also be made available on the investor section of the company's website. I would like to begin by taking you through the key highlights of Q1 financial year 21. In spite of many challenges faced by the economy due to ongoing COVID-19, we delivered a healthy quarter with surge in demand, increased volume, and healthy margins across geographies, including India. Our consolidated revenue for Q1 financial year 21 was up by 24% at rupees 1,221 crores versus rupees 985 crores last year. The gross margins also expanded by 86 bps to 27.9% due to change in product mix towards high margin products and cost efficiencies. The EBITDA margins also expanded by 52 bps to 13.3% versus 12.8% last year, despite the spike in the logistic cost because of COVID. In absolute terms, the EBITDA was up by 29% from rupees 126 crores to rupees 162 crores, aided by higher gross profit. The PAT increased by 82% to rupees 83 crores, while the margins expanded by 216 bps to 6.8%, supported by 27% savings in finance cost. The earning per share was also up by 85% to rupees 2.46 per share versus rupees 1.34. We have performed exceedingly well in terms of the cash flow front as well. The cash flow generated from operations up by 44% to rupees 235 crores, and a part of it was utilized to repay our borrowings. Now, I would like to update you on all the efforts taken towards strengthening the balance sheet of the company. ROCE has improved by 410 bps to 18.4%. Return on equity has also improved from 12.4% to 19.6%. The debt equity ratio improved from 1.02 times to 0.77 times, as the overall debt of the company was down by rupees 200 crores to rupees 1,282 crores on year-on-year basis. Long-term debt to equity has reduced to negligible levels of 0.12 times from 0.15 times last year. This is to reiterate that majority of our debt is working capital debt, which is required because of the nature of our business, and our focus is to maintain the debt to EBITDA ratio to less than 3 times. The debt EBITDA ratio for this quarter is 2. The current ratio has also improved significantly to 1.6 from 1.50 last year. Because of our continuous focus on the working capital optimization, our net working capital has reduced by 51 days to 183 days in this quarter versus 233 days in Q1 financial year 21. I now hand over to Mr. Chandra for the further business update for Q1 financial year 21.
Thank you, and good afternoon to all. The quarter revenue growth of 24% comes from all segments of our business. The basmati and specialty rice segment of our business grew at a very strong 20%, bolstered by the growth in demand, especially in our international business. Organic business grew by 79% versus Q1 of FY20. and the third segment of new product business has doubled to now become near 2% of our revenue. All our business entities have performed well during this quarter. Our India consumer business saw a good growth in quarter 1 FY21, resulting in our increase in our market share to 27% from 24.5% in the previous quarter, as reported by AC Nielsen. Our market share, as per Nielsen, in the rural segment has also increased from 31% to 44% in Q1 FY21 versus last year quarter. Overall performance in India was impacted by the near-nil sales to hotel and restaurants, i.e. the HoReCa segment. Sales to HoReCa have been adversely impacted globally due to the pandemic, but we felt the impact higher in India because we do a larger percentage of our sales to HoReCa in India as compared to the other markets. We are seeing some pickup in HoReCa, but it will take a while before this business recovers to previous levels. HoReCa business also carries a higher sales realization, and this change in the sales mix away from HoReCa has also resulted in a lower overall sales realization in India during this quarter. The consumer business remains strong and has in fact further strengthened. In this quarter, we were able to get a significant jump in our e-commerce business based on our existing strong partnerships with the online players. Our new go-to-market approaches have been yielding positive results, and in the following quarters, these will be pushed forward more aggressively. The company has been working on various marketing initiatives, and our recent campaigns of Pehli Daawat has received a lot of traction across social media, and many well-known personalities from all walks of life have participated in the campaign. LT Foods has also witnessed a good traction in its health and convenience products. The newly launched Daawat Sehat on the health platform and Daawat Right Sauté sauces on the convenience platform have received very positive response from the consumers in this time of eating at home and eating health foods. The company also launched a unique product this quarter, Daawat Kappa Rice, that provides tasty and healthy food instantly, and this too has met with a very positive response. Our US business saw a double-digit growth in revenue and also saw an expansion in its margins. We have a strong leadership share in North America and have built a very deep and wide distribution reach. The business leveraged this reach to perform well across all channels, including the traditional channels like clubs and grocery and the newer e-commerce channel. LT Foods has also worked proactively to ensure availability of its key products and was able to expand its consumer home penetration in the US. Our ready-to-heat business that we launched last year also performed very well and is exceeding our expectations, as we saw more demand for convenience products for in-home consumption. We also received new listings in chains and have thus expanded our availability and consumer base. Our RTH business saw a growth of 250% in quarter 1 FY21 on a year-on-year basis. Our Europe business has also been performing well quarter-on-quarter in terms of revenue and margin profile. The revenue for this quarter were up 140% on a year-on-year basis, and the business has delivered another EBITDA positive quarter. Europe is working on further expanding its presence on the branded business across UK and Europe and supporting it with well-devised marketing and advertising plans to further strengthen the brand. The Middle East business also registered double-digit growth. Our Middle East business has performed well across all channels except for HoReCa, which was impacted due to the ongoing COVID situation. But the HoReCa channel has seen some recovery in the month of June and is expected to further recover in the next few months. Our Far East business also saw a double-digit growth in this quarter. Dedicated marketing initiatives have been launched to strengthen our position and acquire new consumers. The company is also working on expanding its product portfolio in line with changing consumer trends. I would now like to hand over to Mr. Ashwini Arora.
Thank you, Vivek. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the call today. I would like to start by thanking the LT Foods family for their continuous efforts and support over the last few months. It's truly the effort of all our team members and partners which ensured production, supply, and availability of our brands across geographies. I thank them all for their efforts, commitment, and service. My colleagues have shared the result of Q1 financial year 21 with you. We have delivered a strong operating performance for Q1 financial year 21. While the quarter undoubtedly carries some impact of the COVID-led consumption spike, we believe that fundamentally the results show the impact of our strategies in action. And while we should recognize that these are uncertain and unpredictable times, we believe that the revenue, margins, and profit will continue at a higher level than the last year. Our goal is to build a sustainable, profitable, and growing business. Quarter on quarter, we are gaining new consumers, customers, and the core of our sustainable business is being built. Margin expansion from efficiency, product mix, and improvement in margins from scale is being delivered. Q1 business growth has come from the result of our three strategies of growth, margin expansion, and strengthening the financial metrics. The core is growing. Pandemic gave our brands increased penetration in new homes. While some of these may lapse in subsequent quarter, we are confident that this will redeem most of these newly acquired homes and have strengthened our base growth trend. In current times, consumer habit, preference, and spend patterns have changed. The home consumption of packaged health and convenience products have increased globally. LT Food has also witnessed these trends and has seen a good traction in its health and convenience products. As Vivek said, the new product launched, Dabur Sehat, Dabur Rice Sauté Sauces, Dabur Kappa Rice, and Royal Heat and Eat in the United States have also performed well in these times and have gained many new consumers. This should form a new base for these initiatives to further expand and grow. Now, as the season is underway, I would like to give you an update. About 70-80% sowing of the basmati is already completed. The crop health based on survey is normal and rainfall is adequate. As the return to the farmer was comparatively less last year, so we are expecting slightly less production of the basmati this year to the tune of 5 to 10%, and consequently the prices may stay firm to the extent of 5 to 10% compared to the last year. Thank you. Now we open the session for question and answer.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star, then 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star, then 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Anyone who wishes to ask questions, please press star, then 1. The first question is from the line of Nisarg Vakharia from Lucky Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon to the management team and congratulations on an outstanding result. My question was first, sir, that we have seen an EBITDA margin expansion in this quarter purely because of the gross margins increasing. When do you think that the operating leverage in the P&L will start playing out for us in terms of the cost not going up as a percentage of your top line and your margins expanding even further? That's my first question.
Okay. That's the only question you have, or you have?
Sir, no, sir. This is my first, and I have questions relating to this only.
Okay, no problem. So I think on this quarter, as we know that, because of the COVID situation, our logistics and distribution costs have increased. But going forward, we will see, some improvement of the scale in the EBITDA margin. But if you see, our ROIC and return on equity has improved to 18.5 and 19.3 on the return on equity.
Sure. But we are still doing practically the same margins that we were doing at maybe 1/3 the size of what we were, let's say, 4 years ago.
Yeah, and there was another difference. This quarter the mix has changed. If you see, the India sales has declined and export sales has increased. And in export sales, the distribution cost, the entire cost come on our books. Whereas in India, it is on the distributor end. And that's the difference. But, as I said, definitely going forward, as we said, as the scale will increase, so we will get an efficiency. From the people and on the whatever, the fixed cost is what on advertising.
Okay.
Things, yeah.
Okay. Now, this top line, generally, over the last 3-4 years, sir, whenever I've seen your company, there's not too much volatility in earnings on a quarterly basis, unless and until there is some one-off here and there. So this is more or less a sustainable number for us now in terms of margins.
As I just said, our growth is led by 4 things. One is, the new product portfolio.
Sure.
Some in organic and some in our, the convenience platform. The second is, we have acquired new homes, some acquired new customers, and some is definitely, has an impact of, the COVID spike consumption, people, stocking up the supply chain. That will definitely have impact. But, the 3 parameters, which is, the new portfolio, new homes, new customer, that we are confident is going to stay.
Okay. Lastly, sir, this initiative you've taken of launching this Kappa Rice, you've just launched it, right?
Yeah, just 1.5 months back.
Is there any meaningful size in that right now? Or do you have a guidance on how big this can become over the next 1 year or so?
This was we have just built a small factory, and this was to test the market. And we are getting very good response on this. And, we will see 1 or 2 months. Of course, we are looking for any product which has this, good opportunity. But in this space, if you see, it's a big space where we are entering. And we are quite confident whatever the response till time we have got, we can make it big,
Okay. And last question, sir. What is the gross margin on this product versus your normal business gross margin?
So normally, whatever the new product we are, introducing, the aspiration is it depends on the size of the business from 30 to 40% gross margin.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you, sir, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Resham Jain from DSP Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
Congratulations, sir, for a very good set of numbers in these uncertain times.
Thank you.
So I have a few questions. So first is, we have seen a sharp increase in your market share overall also, and within the rural market also. Is there any specific or is there any specific players who have lost market share because of that you have gained, or what explains this significant increase in market share?
So, although, the category has degrown by 11%, and because of our agility in the distribution and making sure that, we are available and across, channel wherever possible, I think the team has done a good job, and we are able to deliver the growth in our market share.
Okay. But has your competitors also, like the major competitors, one or two competitors, have they also lost market?
I will not be able to comment on that, but yeah.
No, what I was trying to understand, is it that the smaller players have vacated market, or are larger players losing share?
I think, of course, the larger player will have, yeah.
Okay. So my second question is, we have seen a very good season because of pre-buying and consumers stocking up extra groceries, both in India as well as outside India. So how do you see the situation normalizing? Are you seeing it normalizing from quarter 2, or are you still seeing a pretty healthy demand in the current quarters as well? So your interaction with retailers and all, how?
As I said, the home consumption have definitely increased, and that I'm sure is going to stay. And the only thing which will impact is whatever, because of the COVID spike, the stocking has happen either in the homes or in the complete supply chain. That's the only, I think, the correction will come. But as far as LT Food is concerned, as I said, the growth has come from 3-4 the new product, new homes, and new customer. And spike is going to be corrected.
Okay. And so my third question is on you have reduced your debt overall since last 5-6 quarters. We are continuously seeing a fall in the debt level. Getting into next year, how would you strategize yourself, because these are uncertain times? Will you go for growth, and will it have a higher leading to higher inventory and higher debt, or you will have more consolidation in this year also and further reduce the absolute level of debt? How do you see the debt levels, especially in the current situation?
Yeah. So if you see for the last 2 quarters, whatever earnings we are getting, cash flow, we are reducing our the borrowings, and if you see the whatever the growth we have given, so our capital employed has not increased. So therefore the ROIC has also improved, and the return on equity also improved. But going forward, as you see, we, of course, we in our strong market wherever we are operating, we are growing very responsibly and making sure that our debt EBITDA level remain in control. And in the meantime, we are not consolidating at that level that we lose our market share. So if wherever we are operating, if the category is growing and as a strong brand, we are also getting an opportunity. But we are not getting any irresponsible business where only for the sake of revenue we are doing the business.
Any absolute level of debt, sir, you are looking at, let's say, next year or 2 years' time?
So it depends, as I repeatedly saying that, we will be in control of debt EBITDA will remain 2 and 3. It depends on the paddy prices and all these things. But the intention is that, we should, reduce our borrowing.
And sir, any full year guidance you like to just give a ballpark number? How should we look at FY21 as a whole? Because 1Q has set a very high benchmark. So how do you see the whole year planning?
It's in these times, something is very difficult to predict because, you never know tomorrow where lockdown and all these things are happening. But broadly, we are very confident that this year, we will be growing than last year.
And just one final question. We have seen a very strong reduction in the interest cost. So if you can bifurcate how much is because of fall in the interest cost and overall, what is the fall in the borrowing cost?
So it's a mix of two things. One is, of course, the lesser borrowing, and the other is the cost of funding. So it has reduced by 0.6%. 0.6%, it has reduced by during this quarter.
Okay. And is this run rate sustainable
on the interest cost? Interest cost, yes.
Interest cost, yeah.
Yes. So rather, we are trying to improve this further.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sarvesh Gupta from Maximal Capital. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Ashwani ji. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, Sarvesh ji.
Congratulations, first of all, for a very good set of numbers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I just had a few questions looking at your presentation. One, if I see I missed the initial commentary, by the way, I was stuck in another call. So, one, if I see your Indian versus international business, I think both have got very different performance metric. So we see, almost a 22% volume reduction and 12% price reduction for the Indian market. And we see stable price and 47% volume increase for the international business. So, sir, if you can give some color on what is happening in the Indian market and the international market.
I think we have said in commentary, but we will repeat that. In India, we have got a hit from HoReCa business, which was a substantial, means 25% of our total, sales in India. But we have improved in our consumer business. So, as per Nielsen, we have improved our market share, by 2.7%. But as far as international is concerned, we have a lesser impact on the HoReCa business, and therefore, we have improved on that across all the geography.
Understood. And this 211 crore that we have got in the Indian markets, now going forward, what is the trend that we see? Do we expect to at least maintain this, or we see any further degrowth in pricing or volume?
In India, as the consumer business have gained share, but HoReCa we have to see, as we have started seeing the improvement in HoReCa, but we have yet to see how the HoReCa improves. But overall, if you talk about the overall company, we are positive about it.
And on pricing, sir, like we saw a 12% decline and 14% even QOQ. So,
जो आपका food service में बिकता है, so that has a higher realization. Okay. Whereas, in consumer business, our price point is 3200.
Okay, so that is because of the mix change. But otherwise, prices are stable.
Yeah.
Okay. And secondly, sir, just for my understanding, your international realizations are much higher than your domestic realizations.
So again, product mix, difference, in exports, different price point go in India, different price point sales.
Okay. But since the business has tilted in favor of international business, which is almost like 80% for this quarter, I would have expected some gross margin increase. So if you can throw some color on that.
So gross margin has improved, but as in international also, the product mix, it's different. We have got growth in organic business, in private label business, in brand business. And that's why, if you see our ROIC and return on equity has improved.
Yes. Okay, sir. That's all from my side, sir. Congratulations again and all the best.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jayant Mamania from Care PMS. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Jayant.
Congratulations for a solid set of numbers.
Thank you so much.
So my first question is on international business. We have achieved almost 50% growth in international business. Can you give us bifurcation how the geographical distribution of these figures?
No, it's a cross geography. We have gained America, Europe, Middle East, and Far East. Across geography we have got a growth. And
can you give us number of Europe and US?
In our organic business, so in organic business we have got a growth of roughly, above than 50%. Yeah.
Yeah, that has grown 79%.
Yeah.
So
And,
can you provide numbers for Europe and US at least?
So US we have grown more than double digit, and Europe, of course, it was a new, and we have grown more than 60%.
And can you tell us the realization pattern in case of US and Europe?
Definitely we will provide you the realization, but at the moment, we will not be.
Yeah. Actually, we have grown.
Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah, in volume terms, we have grown by 50%. So, are we going to sustain this volume in the current quarter also? It is almost 1 month past. Will this volume continue in?
Again, the same answer is that some growth has been come from the product portfolio, new homes, new customers, and some is because of this COVID situation. COVID situation will get corrected, the stock up situation, and but year on year we are confident that we will do better.
So what percent of growth you will allocate the COVID?
Difficult situation, but definitely we will be doing better.
Yeah. Sir, can you throw any light on the organic business which has grown 79%? What is your guidance?
So we have added the new product portfolio. We have added the soya meal as a new product that has given the good growth, and overall globally the people are becoming health conscious and the whole portfolio has increased.
So what is the contribution from soya meal?
So rough on the overall revenue of you are asking?
No, for the organic business only.
It's roughly 25%, 20-25%.
Okay. So this soya meal business added in this quarter or it is?
Soya meal, last quarter was there, but this quarter has done better.
Mm-hmm. So this 160 crore run rate will continue in the subsequent quarters?
Again, organic business also has the impact of stock up, but we are confident, organic business will do also good in the coming quarters.
Okay. Sir, can you tell us the share of e-commerce business in India and in international business?
In India, we are doing roughly 10 to 15% of our total revenue.
And what about international business?
International business is small. In USA, I think it's 2 to 3% of our total revenue.
Okay. Sir, can you give us data figure as on 30th June?
Data?
Country data.
On
30th June, yeah.
600 crore.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. That's all from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nitin Awasthi from East India Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, and congratulations on a solid set of numbers.
Good afternoon, Nitin. Thank you so much.
A lot of my questions have been answered. However, the curiosity remains after I saw your presentation. The large portion of let's say, profitability has come in and ratio and improvement, correct me if I'm wrong, has come in because of the organic plus the new business, because you have a higher and better ratios in that segment compared to your traditional businesses. Am I correct?
So can you repeat what is your question, please?
Okay, so my question is largely the improvement which we are seeing in ratios is because
what?
in your return ratios that you have mentioned, ROCs and ROEs, is on back of your organic and your new launches, because
from where you are referring?
Sorry, sir?
Okay. Continue, please.
Yes. So when I look at these two businesses, and we had a discussion even in the last phone call, that these businesses have a substantially better return ratio profile, lower working capital days, and then compared to your traditional basmati rice business. And this time around, these businesses have done exceedingly well, leading to a very good improvement in your ratios. Am I correct? To look at it in that perspective?
Just a minute. Give me a time. Just a minute. Okay. No, I think we have seen the improvement, both in organic in our, the basmati rice business. Both are, we have improved the ROIC and both parameters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And sir, in your normally, if I look at last year, all the quarters you had a sustainable similar run rate when it came to your organic business. This time around, we are seeing a substantial jump. You had mentioned this, we can be broken down into two parts. One was newer product addition, which was the main one, the soya meal, which is obviously a very large chunk contributed to that. And the second would be stocking up. Now, if you remove the stocking up part, what would be the sustainable per quarter run rate that you're expecting, or are you still expecting further addition of products in this category during this year?
This year, we are not going to add any product portfolio in organic business. But, the stocking up will have, we will see, in this quarter how much impact, but more or less, it will not vary more than, 50 of the organic revenue, 10 to 15%.
Okay, got it, sir. And so lastly, on your new launch during the quarter, Kappa rice, there was a newspaper article stating that you had got orders from Railways of India. Any other such institutional orders that have flown in, or inquiries that are going on?
No, there is a good traction, on this, on the Kappa rice. But till time, we are not even, whatever the capacity we have, we have a very small capacity. We are not able to service, the railway demand only.
Okay.
So our marketing team is working on the other parameters. But we are getting good traction. That's the only thing I can add.
So the substantiation, the newspaper article only stated the initial order. So subsequently there has been...
We are getting repeated orders.
Repeated orders from railways. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. That's all from my side. Thank you so much for answering the questions, and best of luck for the quarter to come.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pritesh Shah from Lucky Investments. Please go ahead.
So I have a couple of questions. One, considering the little bit of pantry stocking that would have been there, what would be your best guess for full year volumes for the company versus the 464,000 tons that we did last year?
Again, as I said, it's a little difficult to say, but we will definitely, not definitely, we are confident that we will do it better than last year. We will have a growth on full year basis.
Okay. My second question is, would there be a mix improvement in terms of volume sold in international within the Middle East?
What that means?
means so usually Iran is a slightly lower profitability business. So would there be any mix improvement where there would be lesser Iran volumes and more other non?
As an LT Food, we don't do any business
in Iran.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And my third question is, sir, so last year, there was a carry forward of at the end of the year lower paddy price, which would have bought the inventory at. So the benefit of lower paddy price, considering its aging for the rice, should flow in FY22, and does lower paddy price and aging does impact the profitability in FY21?
Definitely, lower cost help you to improve your profitability, but we have to see the competitive landscape, how the competition is behaving. But definitely, as I said, the target is to improve our ROIC and return on equity. And going forward, we will see, the better margin.
And do we have any debt repayment, annual debt repayment reduction targets in place?
So as we said that, our mostly, whatever the borrowings we have is the working capital borrowing, because the nature of the business is that, you have to keep the long inventory for aging purpose. But we are the goal is we will be in the debt EBITDA ratio 2 to 3.
So that's the goal of being debt to EBITDA at between 2 and 3x.
Yeah.
But is there an absolute debt reduction program in place, or you would look at only the ratio?
You must have seen that, in the last 2 quarters, we have reduced our borrowing. It depends, what the price.
No, but sir, this is seasonal, right? This last 2 quarter reduction is always seasonal.
No, 31st March is not a seasonal.
Between 31st March and quarter 1 and quarter 2 is seasonal.
It's a seasonal.
Yeah.
That's right. But as I said, it depends on the paddy prices and all that. But the discipline we wanted to maintain is debt EBITDA ratio.
Okay, maintain the debt EBITDA ratio. Okay. And lastly, do you, for a lower paddy price, do you see a case for lower realizations also?
What that means?
So for a lower paddy price, which has flowed in last year, does the market also adjust in the form of lower realization on basmati rice?
It depends, on the competitive landscape. Normally, some we get benefit, and some, I think just to keep the market share, through consumer promotion and all these things. This is how the industry works.
Actually, I didn't get it. So historically, you would have experienced whenever there was lower paddy price, did it follow through with?
Yeah, definitely it helps to improve your margins, as I said, but not
it improves percentage, or it improves EBITDA per kg or gross profit per kg?
No, it's in the margin, not per kg. It's in the margin.
So it improves the percentage. It doesn't improve the absolute numbers.
No.
Because which means then there is a corresponding decline in basmati price also.
Consumer price.
Huh?
Consumer price. Yeah.
No, consumer, you don't reduce like per kg, but it depends, there are 3-4 price points, which works, one is, the premium price point where you need not to pass on, the benefit to the consumers. But it depends, like Horeca, mid-price. Some price points are very sensitive to price, and competition compete in that way. So we have a different program where the idea is to keep our market share also, and improve the margin if the paddy prices are less.
Okay. Lastly, sir, this mix between domestic and export that we see, because export is more remunerated, do you envisage a situation where your exports will grow faster than the domestic? in current year and next? And the mix into?
If you see, it depends, how this economy goes. But as far as international is concerned, whatever the other government's program has, so there does not impact on the consumer pocket. So we are seeing a good growth in the international market. As far as India is concerned, as we said that although category has degrown, but we have gained a positive impact. So overall, yes, export in this year looks good. India, I'm sure, in the coming quarter, will catch up.
Okay. And in this 200,000 ton international volume, how much is US and Europe volumes in this?
So we have grown, from every base, whatever the base we have in America and Europe. Of course, America is a very matured market for us. So we have grown in double digit. Europe, we have grown.
So my question is, in the last year's 200,000 ton volume, slightly more than 200,000 ton, how much would be US?
At the moment, we don't have the number with us, but definitely, you can email to us. We will give you the number.
Okay. Because your presentation seems to suggest that it's a substantial volume, because your presentation says America is 0.2 million tons and your market share is 50%. So is it like 100,000? That's how I have to calculate?
So, this is how much we export, you mean to say?
100,000 tons.
No, we do a little less than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jatin K from Alpha Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Congrats for a very good set of results, sir. Sir, my first question would be, sir, on international business. Is there any market share gains also there or industry also seem to have grown there? What would be industry growth rate in international side versus our market share gains?
So industry has also grown in exports. But it depends, some market, some geography has grown faster than the other geography. It depends, which geography we are strong. But overall, export has done better this quarter against, whatever it was previously.
Okay, sir. And sir, next question would be on gross margin expansion. You are saying that it is because of product mix and growth in organic business. So nothing is coming right now from the fall in paddy prices. I believe paddy prices have fallen close to 4 or 5 rupees per kg. Is that right? And can we expect this paddy prices fall to help us in gross margin expansion in coming few quarters or coming few years?
Till time, as you know that, we are all, we sell aged paddy and mix of aged paddy and all that. But again, it depends, which price point you play. Some price point, you have to be competitive to the competition and pass on the prices, especially in Horeca business and what we call is $2 and $1 business. But definitely, it will improve the margin. As you must have seen, our gross margin has improved by 70 pips.
Sure, sir. And sir, what would be the tax rate for this year?
25%.
Okay. That's it from my side, sir. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dikshit Mittal from Shubhkam Ventures. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. Yeah. Yeah, sir, just to understand a little bit on this gross margin part only, because I think based on your disclosure of inventory, I think the inventory was, I think it was 20% correction, right, in terms of our basmati prices last year?
दीक्षित क्या दोबारा रिपीट करना आप क्या कह रहे थे?
Sir, basically what I need to understand is if we see the March inventory numbers vis-a-vis last year, I think we had 20% lower cost of inventory, right, of basmati.
अभी क्वार्टर की बात कर रहे हो?
हाँ सर, YOY बेसिस पे आई थिंक ये साल अपना 20% लोअर पे वी हैड प्रोक्योर्ड, राइट?
जी हाँ. Last year, we procured at a lesser price as compared to crop 19. We procured at a lesser price as compared to crop 18. Yes.
Right sir. अच्छा, उसका सर बेनिफिट ग्रॉस मार्जिन में रिफ्लेक्ट इतना नहीं हुआ है. So maybe because have you passed on anything in because you mentioned that in June or July you take call. Have you passed on this benefit maybe in the form of higher discounts or will the benefit be visible in second half going forward?
Still, I think we are watching the competitive landscape and we are hopeful that it will improve.
Okay. So gross margins can improve further maybe in second half depending on like if you decide not to pass.
You have to see the competitive landscape how it works.
Okay. And so secondly, you mentioned this quarter there was a high logistic cost. So can you quantify like how much was the impact on margin because of that?
I said, there are two factors. One is the high logistic cost and the second is the mix change, We have done more export and in export the distribution and logistic cost comes to us. And in India, the distribution cost comes to the distributor books. So that's why, it seems high. But definitely in COVID times, we have to be liberal in making sure that, the availability and the service level doesn't compromise. And we have spent some cost more.
Okay. So just because at the start of the year, you had given a guidance of 100 bps margin expansion. But going by the current low paddy prices and going by the first quarter performance, so we're just hoping can we beat that kind of margin expansion guidance at least this year?
Again, my answer will remain the same. We have to see the competitive landscape, but we are hopeful that, the margin will improve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And sir, in terms of pre-buying that you mentioned because of COVID, so because first quarter we have seen more than 20% top line growth. So, but on a full year basis, you mentioned there will be growth. But can you quantify? Will it be double-digit growth kind of thing that we can hope? Maybe 10-12%.
That's what we are, aiming for here. But as I said, it's a difficult time. Every morning, there are some new news and new things are happening.
But assuming there are no further lockdowns and anything, so can we grow in mid-teens kind of?
If the situation remains, improving, definitely, we are confident that, we will be delivering better year.
Okay. So can you give some idea on how the July went in terms of, because I think now domestic HoReCa market will pick up from in second half. So how are the current?
Till July, we have not. We have seen little better than whatever April, May in HoReCa in India, but not to that level, which was used to. It's only improved by, if the sale was 100, it has improved by 10-20%.
Okay. And sir, have you seen any moderation in export sales in July as compared to first quarter?
In July, little moderation, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Year on year, it should be still up, right? In terms of not a like.
Year on year, as I said, seeing July, whatever, we are hopeful that we will be able to deliver a better quarter.
Okay. Okay, sir. And sir, lastly, on inventory days, we have seen substantial improvement. Even on a year-on-year basis, we have at 162 days versus more than 200 days. So what has led to this improvement? Have we like reduced
value? If you see the quantity wise, we are the same, but value wise, the inventory days has reduced because the lower cost.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Deepak Poddar from Sapphire Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity. Sir, I wanted to understand now this 24% growth we have reported this quarter. So is it possible for you to bifurcate? Like you mentioned that some of it might be because of stock-up situation and some from growth portfolio. the product portfolio in the growth in the product portfolio. So is it possible for you to bifurcate that how much percentage of that would be from the stock up and how much percentage would be from your natural growth that you see?
Stock up, if you see, we have seen that, whatever the first quarter has gone, the stock up is, in value term, is roughly, 100 and 120 crores must have gone up in stock up. And rest is from new product portfolio and expansion of distribution across the globe. So, yeah.
Okay, understood. So even if I adjust that, 1,100 crores plus a kind of HoReCa business segment will get added up. So this is the base that we look forward as we go into coming quarters. Would that be and some growth because of the HoReCa that you might be?
HoReCa, we have to see how it behaves. But till time, it has not. At least the metro cities where the major HoReCa sales come has not come to a normal. So we are not very, hopeful that, in this quarter at least, HoReCa will come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. But can we consider this as a base going forward? The overall, the revenue base?
More or less.
Fair. That's it from me.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Amit Doshi from Care PMS. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Just one couple of questions on market share gain on the local and the rural side. You mentioned that 11% industry is down, and whereas your share has gone up. Can you share what kind of things that has actually worked? It's some low priced brands which has taken up well. I mean, something on that side.
We have got a growth, across price point. The share has increased to, because maybe we were agile to the distribution and we made sure that we want to be available. Vivek, you wanted to add on this?
It's reflective of the fact that our distribution and our sales organizations were actually very active and were out there in the marketplace wherever the government rules allowed that. So the availability, because there is a shift in the whole purchasing pattern to smaller neighborhood stores, and our availability has been one of the major factors, with the fact that Daawat as a brand is a very strongly preferred brand. So both these things together has what in the declining market helped us to retain, and which has led to improvement of share.
Okay. On the this new product launch, which is this Kappa rice and this Kari Kari, etc. These are more like typically travel consumption, not for home consumption. So I am sure this would require a different sort of a distribution model or different sort of strategy as far as marketing is concerned. So how are we planning on that? I mean, you mentioned, I know that Kappa rice is currently on the testing side, etc. But what kind of because considering that our distribution would be different from travel and home consumption. So how are you really trying to fit this in the line of stream of business that we have?
I think there are, the two parts to this. One is you are right that a lot of this consumption does take place out of home. And we have segmented our sales effort into verticals, which are focused on two different channels of trade. So there is a food service, for example, vertical, which is already supplying directly, say, to airline catering, to railways catering. So there is a certain segment which is there, which is going to out of home. The second part, however, which is that all of these products also have a fairly significant in-home consumption, which has only increased during this time of stay at home. So whether it is Kappa rice or Kari Kari or our rice sauces that we launched, these are all also gone very heavily into in-home consumption, where the verticals that we have which supply e-commerce, we have a vertical supplying modern trade and then another which is to general trade, they have seen very good growth of these products in their portfolio as well.
Okay. And this last question on the, while, all the challenges and despite the Q1 showing one of the key reasons as, of course, COVID and, stocking up demand, what makes you confident that, we will do better than previous years? And I think I just had a question on inventory days is down from 240 to 162 days. But I believe you mentioned earlier that's more because of price point. Did I get it right? So, I'm just trying to say that, if the volume or the inventory is low, then, how do we compare that, we'll grow volume wise? So, how do you link the both? And second, what makes you so confident about doing better than last year?
Okay. So, again, whatever the consumer base we have built and whatever we have seen, different geography, the last quarter. As I said, we understand that what was the value, which has gone into stock up. That is giving us confidence, and whatever the forecast we have for this quarter, that is giving us confidence that we will be doing it better than last year. Okay. And our private label business is approximately 25%. So anything shoot up in this quarter in the private label space? Yes, private label space, it has shot up mainly in Europe. But rest of the world, it was almost, as per the trend in the other part.
Okay, and our private label margins would be lower vis-a-vis our, of course, branded business, logical.
Yeah, as we said that, we calculate on the ROIC basis, not on the absolute margin. But definitely, we do only business which has, the better returns. So even in the private label business, we have a kind of strategic partnership where it's not sustainable.
Okay. And the last question on the international business, the growth has been significant. So is it, do you believe that any particular reason, vis-a-vis the supply chain disruption in other countries, which, could not export to whether US or Europe, etc. And because of that, there was a shift from that product demand to Daawat. Anything on that color which you would want to add?
So the demand growth, of course, because of, LT Foods' strong supply chain, we were able to, acquire new customers from the competition. So that's for sure and the second is, as we said that, in these times, the home consumption have increased. Yeah. And that has also led us to this growth.
Yeah. No, my point, stocking up, I understand. I'm just trying to figure out that, because there were other countries which were exporting, of course, not basmati rice, but something else, and because people, because of unavailability, then needed a shift. Any color on that?
Basmati consumers are, they don't switch to, or non-basmati consumer doesn't come to. So that was not the reason.
Okay. Fine. Thank you so much and wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ravi Sundaram from Sundaram Family Investments. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thanks for the opportunity and congratulations on an excellent set of numbers. I just had one question because most of my other questions are covered. The question was, if we look at the earnings of what we have seen, because Q1 has been one of the best quarters so far. So for the current year, should we use Q1 as the high watermark, or should it be the base from where we can grow higher in the subsequent quarters? I'm looking at a full year view. So can you give us some idea on this?
Again, the same. So that's not the base we can count for, the next quarters. In this, the stocking up has happened. The COVID impact is there. So, but we are confident that, we will be doing better than last year.
Okay. Just one clarification on that. If I don't know if you can attribute a number to this, but how much would have stocking up contributed to the stellar performance?
We are just calculating that it is in the range of 100 crores.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much and all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, due to paucity of time, we will be able to take one last question from the line of Shailesh Kumar from Insight Edge. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. I have 3-4 questions. First is, Mr. Arora, what is the progress on this tricyclazole thing? I mean, what steps domestically we are taking, domestic corporates, branded rice companies are taking, and when do we expect our export to Europe to normalize that 4 lakh ton per annum? That is the first question.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, as you know, LT Food, we have an extension, farm extension team, and for the last 10 years, we work with the farmers, where we guide them what to use and what not to use, and that's giving us little competitive advantage. We are able to work on that. And, normalize, I think the whole industry is now working, the government is supporting us. So everyone is working where, as a country, we are working to control, whatever the MRL levels are fixed. So huge awareness has gone to the farmers and everyone. So we are confident that, in the coming year, we will be able to, improve on that.
So you think in next 2-3 years things will come back to normalcy, or it will take longer?
So normalcy means you mean to say export to Europe?
Yes, exactly.
As we are seeing the government's support, the industry, and the farmer awareness. Yes, of course, 2-3 years time, we should be back to the normalcy.
Great. Sir, my second question is, what has been our profitability, Europe business profitability for this quarter?
Just a minute. PBT is 9 crores. So, EBITDA. So 12 crore is EBITDA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Third question is, we have seen working capital improvement. So do you think on full year basis this is sustainable, and where do you see on full year basis our working capital to stabilize, and what is the scope for further improvements?
So full year, as far as working capital cycle is concerned, it will be, in terms of the quantity, we have to maintain, the same working capital. Regarding the debt level, it will be, as I said, we will be able to maintain debt EBITDA ratio between 2 and 3.
So you are suggesting in terms of number of days, we don't expect much difference on YOY basis on full year?
Of course, when we will go to the March, it will increase because now, this is off season. So
okay.
It get peak on the 31st December on the inventory level.
Okay. And my final question is, if you could help me with volume breakup of our inventory levels between rice and paddy, that will be very helpful.
How much rice and how much paddy quantity-wise?
Yes.
We have a paddy of 1,03,000 tons and rice of 1,61,000 tons.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you everyone for your continued support. Hope we were able to address all your queries. Should you have any further questions, please feel free to contact our investor relation team. Thank you, and we look forward to connecting with you again in the next quarter. Thank you. Stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Equirus Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.